Well, good morning. Here we are in the last few days of June. Thought I'd give you a garden update, give you an explanation, other things about going on the channel. And you can see my peppers here. Even though I harvested a few already, look at how they are growing. And I transplanted the sweet banana pepper over here, and it's got like a bloom or two down there, and I don't know what is that under. Oop, bloom fell off. Oh no. And I got some basil over here too. Looking out there towards the west side tomatoes, those are popping up pretty well. The pepper plants over here are acting weird. This one here almost died, and it's got peppers on it and a bloom. And this one over here I harvest some off of, but it just quit growing. Yeah. We got one little tiny fella there. And look at these tomatoes. There. I don't know if they were gonna. The tomatoes last year didn't work out too good. I don't know if these are gonna work out okay or not. But I got some bunch green onions just growing down there. That's to try to keep pests away of certain types more than for eating. The ones over where the tomatoes are at, where the peppers are at. But I think overall this bunch of tomatoes over here are doing all right. We're in the last few days of June, but we shall see. And my grape plants are doing a little bit better. They're starting to grow a little bit. Well, that one over there has. The one that's down over here, it was the biggest one to start off with, and it practically died. And we got it growing again. But it's really slow. I figured we'd have more by now. But what I was having over here, something was eating on it, chewing on it. I don't know what, but I put old Gino over here to guard it, and that has stopped whatever was eating those. And this one over here, it just to me, it's amazing that all of a sudden it started growing. I figured they should develop more than this by now, but they haven't. And like I said, I'm not expecting any grapes this year, so I just want these vines to grow. And I've got this sunflower growing pretty well. The thing of it is that I planted about a dozen of them down through here, and they didn't really come up. I think that might be one there. I'm not sure. But I planted some over here and a bunch of wildflower seeds. They're popping up. And let's see what happens with those. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 of them. Don't know. And these tomatoes are growing. I figured they should be bigger. We have been getting some that are ripening. And it's hard to get a good angle there. But something's going on with these. I'm not sure if they're getting too much water and growing too fast. I need to look up and see what that is, but we've had a lot of rain and we're getting into a dry season right now. But this little patch is doing pretty well. You know, the grandpa ops are doing okay. And they got this bicycle, the Phillips, pretty much covered. Yeah, I'm keeping them from growing over the top. Been trimming them down along this line here, and I'm gonna have to trim some more. But I don't want them growing up over the fence and putting any more weight on the fence than I have to, because I need to do some repair work. That's right there. And we're trying to pull apart right there. Now we are getting a lot more blooms on both of these back here, and I gotta do some trimming today. Every day I gotta trim up here because these things grow fast, real fast. And I don't know what that is, but it's making some noise. You know, this rose bush has been having a lot of growth. We're finally getting some more flower budding on here. This whole thing right here has just grown over the last, from down there all the way up to there. It's just grown in the last week and a half, 2 weeks, and we're starting to get some other new growth. The same for this right here. That's all new wood. So, and we're getting some growth up there. It looks pretty cool. It's doing well. And I got little Stevie down there watching guard over it. Now this little rose bush, it's growing, and I got it staked out though. I'm trying to get that main stem branch there to grow straight as it thickens. And so I tied it up on a bamboo stick. I don't know if that's the proper way to do it or not, but it won't bloom. It shouldn't bloom again until next spring. And when I bought it, it was on sale because it was past its blooming time and stuff. But I kept, having problems growing something over here. And this is just to be a rose bush. It won't be a climbing rose like that one over there. Now, since my last garden update video, I planted these jasmine bushes, vines, and they've been growing pretty well. It's gotten all the way up. Where's that? My hand. I don't see my hand. Oh, there it is. It's grown all the way up to there, which is 2.5 rungs. So it's looking pretty good. And as we, it's bloomed since I got it. Blooms were on it when I got it, and they fell off. Now we're getting some growth, getting more and more blooms. But the goal is to have these grow all the way across this trellis, this not awning, but from this up over there, this up over there, and just be full of flowers by next year. Hopefully by fall, the vines will be grown up. Pretty cool. But I got 2 of them over here, and we got a bloom over here this morning too. But I think these are going to be really nice and make it smell really nice. Well, my big morning glory trellis, we had 2 or 3 heavenly blues bloom a few weeks ago, but you know, it went about 3 days of blooming, and haven't gotten anything else yet. But I'm hoping we start seeing blooms on this by the 4th of July. It's because I planted red morning glories, white morning glories, blue morning glories, and white night blooming morning glories. And that should be really, really nice when it ever takes off. And now we've made the full round. This is the Carolina jasmine. This makes yellow flowers, but it blooms in the spring, so you shouldn't see any more blooms on this year. But I'm really amazed. When I bought it, it was about that tall, and now it's taller than I am. But that should fill out really, really heavy as it grows, and I'll keep it trimmed up at the top so it doesn't jump up to the top of the house. That might become a disaster. But Sunny Rock Garden's doing pretty well. Wish the rest of the world was. But as you see, everything's going on in the world. It's the reason I quit boating. It don't do any good. I'll go this way for a while, then for a season it'll go that way for a while. And just everybody always stays mad at each other. That ain't cool at all. Not cool at all. Oh, I'm not growing as much food this year. I was going to grow beans out over there where that blue tarp sat behind the grapevine trellis thing, arbor. But I don't know if I'm gonna, I think it's getting too late to do them now. I don't know, it might still be within the growing season, but I need to till that back there. I might just keep it covered up until next year, or plant something that it will be good to make the soil softer. I don't know. And if you've been keeping track of what you've been seeing on the channel, you might be noticing I've been posting a lot of slideshows. What I'm doing, I'm digitizing old photographs of people I've met, places I've been, and you know, I always see myself as being some type of photojournalist, though I never was able to really make a living at it. I made a few dollars out of that. Not much. I just didn't have what it took to be a journalist, a photojournalist. I have a problem with lying, so being a journalist is not something to be if you're a seeker of truth and seeker of God. All I want to do is continue to get closer to God without defining God to others. I hope that you enjoy the slideshows. You know, back then, I should have got me an 8mm camera or something like that and took pictures of the things I was filming. But I just usually carried some camera with me, either if it was a little Instamatic camera or 35mm. You know, you're gonna see what I did. You know, I got stuff dating all the way back to the end. I got a handful of photos from my first field problem. It isn't much, it's just pictures of where we slept and our radio rig, but I'm going to digitize those and post those next. Well, it's time for me to take my wife to work, and so that's what I'm going to do. Anyways, quit feeding the wars, quit feeding the hate. We need peace in this world.